Deep Dive with David Stendahl, where we trade without ego, no emotion, no greed, and no opinion. Before we begin tonight's video blog, please read over our trading disclaimer and remember to trade smart and accept the reality that trading futures is risky. This presentation does not provide buy-sell recommendations, and our information is strictly provided for educational purposes only. As always, trade at your own risk and analysis. Hey there, it's David Stendahl with tonight's Deep Dive. It is February 19th, 2019, and I'm going to look at cotton tonight, the ETF being BALB. Now, what's going on with this market is that it's been on a pretty strong trend, as the trend indicators are talking about here. We've got short, intermediate, and long term all pointing to the downside. But we have a mixed technical rating, and we have two overbought, oversold indicators that have popped up, a slow low and a slow sub. And the reason the word slow is in there is that this is the secondary indicator for both of these indicators. So we have a pivot low for the elastic low, and then we have a slow low, which is more of a confirming type indicator, and the same thing for the submarine low and the slow sub. That's what these represent. So with the power level and the elastic level, they're kind of I'll at least put them in order. Elastic level is more of a short-term indicator, the wave level is more of an intermediate, and the power level is more of a longer-term type indicator. But they're both, or in all three instances, they're overbought and oversold indicators, but they are not always going to trigger at the same time. So it's a little unusual that we have this condition popping up here with the with cotton right now, with two of them showing up at the same time. So what we'll do is we'll take a look at couple little patterns here as well, where just recently we had, this is the daily pro alerts here, where we have a low that occurred 3 trading days ago, and then we had in this case one that triggered here today. KS is keel and sail, and so it's an overbought oversold indicator as well, and it looks for kind of strong reversal type indicators. That's what this environmental change is referring to. And the surge, that's more of a profit taking, and that occurred about 3 bars ago, so three trading days ago. So let's take a look at the market itself and try to get an idea as to what's been going on here, because there's some interesting things are taking place. So here's daily bars for cotton, and you can see the definite downtrend that we have here. We have a high and then a low, high, low, high, low, and then we had a high just recently. The low is just triggered. It's been playing with this support level right through here, as well as the support level way over here, which is kind of hard to see. But when you connect them, you have kind of an energy zone. We have 2 distinct levels. This one right through here, which is at 72.79. This on the May contract in cotton. So it's 72.79. The one way back over here is at 71.30. So they're in the same general area, but they're fairly wide. And so we did have some lows, and then it bounced off of this level through here, and then it's now back above and attempting to break through this support resistance level right through here. I think that the trend is obviously still to the downside, but we do have some interesting aspects with the oversold condition. So we have had this before in this vicinity, a little bit of a bounce. It wasn't enough to reverse the trend, but it was at least a tradable bounce that we have here. Same condition over through here, a little upside, and found some resistance, although it never ever touched the 50-day, but it was coming to that level and then reversed again. So I would suspect that the trend is still going to be to the downside, but there's a little tradable opportunity. Got to be very nimble with cotton if that's going to be the case. And all we're really looking for in cotton is it going to find the legitimate support that it should be looking for in this particular area? We could have a little bit of a bounce, and then it could have another test of these levels that I just pointed out. So I wouldn't say that the trend is over, but we're going to eventually need some type of a condition like this if cotton's really going to base here and potentially have another swing to the upside. So where we stand right now, with our trading and the systems themselves. I'm just looking at the softs as a whole. We are still short cotton, still have a nice open position profit here. So we just have the one system that is short. So I would suspect that if we do get this bounce that I was referring to, tradable bounce perhaps, then this should go flat and possibly go long. But for right now, it's still short. We're still short coffee. That's kind of in a similar scenario where it had come down to support and actually has broken a little bit below it. So we have a nice open position there as well. But we could get some type of a bounce there. And then sugar right now actually is long the market. So we'll see as whether or not cotton and coffee can follow suit with what's going on with sugar. But for right now, we'll just simply see how things kind of play out. The other thing I want to point out is that with our elastic level, and I was referring to that just a little while ago, we're not in extreme oversold condition, but we were just a little while ago. And with cotton itself, if I can find it here it is. Cotton only gets into that area about 3.1% of the time. So you know that when it gets into that extreme overbought or oversold, in this case, condition, that it doesn't really stay in that particular level all too frequently. Not like natural gas and Kansas City wheat, which can occur on I wouldn't say regular basis, still in the 8%, but you're looking at definitely a distinct difference with the top end of this chart with the lower end of this chart. So 3.1% is still, fairly uncommon. So that gives you an indication just how extreme the market was with these recent sell-offs that we had with the market. So here's the elastic level getting into that particular point. We had it in the past, we've had it in the past, but again, 3.1% of the time, that's when it actually triggers. And the point is that it doesn't stay in that level all too frequently, so it bounces back. So that's the condition we're in right now with cotton. So let's see what happens as to whether or not the systems actually do get out of the short positions that we're in right now, and if whether or not that trend's really going to end here, or if we're just going to get a little bit of a bounce, maybe a little bit of a tradable bounce, and then the trend will continue. So the major low, I'm just going to revert back over here, 71.30. Again, this is in the May contract. That's here's the May contract, so you can see it. That's the level that we're going to really want to really watch very carefully. So with that, we will take a look at another market tomorrow. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.